Hey everybody, Prep Nurse One here. Welcome. Good evening. I hope everybody is doing well. That away a little bit. So good to see everybody. Looks like a nice start to have a crowd here, so that's good. We're going to get into this topic in a minute. Okay, so it's going to be fun. I think it's probably not what a lot of people are going to expect, but I think it's going to be interesting, and I'm definitely looking forward to hearing your guys' feedback. Okay, so before we get started. I did want to say, this is a very family-friendly oriented channel, so please be decent to each other. No racism, no nastiness. Please be decent in the chat. I know we've had a couple different people going back and forth in the chat here recently in recent chats, and so just be decent to each other, okay? I mean, that's all I ask. And got great moderators, and if you are not decent, they will definitely boot you out. So just like I said, just be respectful of each other and we'll not have any problems, okay? So we're going to give this like one more minute and we're going to get started on this, okay? So it's going to be fun, I think. I think it'll be interesting. I just had Buddy just jumped up on the bed, so he's kind of getting himself settled down. I got Max over here sound asleep, but all right, so we're going to talk about what the government is thinking, okay? And so we're going to do it from a perspective. And the whole exercise of this tonight, guys, is I want to make you think, okay? So some of you are going to get upset. Some of you are going to be uncomfortable. Some of you are not going to like what I have to say. But if I make you think, that's the ultimate goal. That's what I have. That's what I'm trying to do with this talk tonight. Okay, I want to make you think. And so I've seen a lot of the comments that come in my chat. And so I wanted to kind of go at it from a perspective that everybody will really truly get it. And you can kind of put it into perspective and you're going to go, that's interesting. I didn't think of it like that. So I've gotten a lot of comments in my chat, and we're going to go over that after I do this. Okay, so we're going to talk. I'm going to talk in a two-party thing. Okay, I'm going to be a Democratic senator, and I'm going to be a Republican senator. And the talk that I'm going to have, obviously with myself, because there's nobody here, I'm going to do both parties. Okay, and I'm going to talk about what the government is thinking, what their plan is, what's going on. Okay, so we're going to take it from that perspective. All right, so we're going to jump into this, guys. So I'm the government. I'm a U.S. senator. I'm a Republican senator and a Democratic senator. And here's the conversation. So one senator walks up to the other one, and they go, "You know what? I didn't think it would work, but your plan is brilliant. It's working perfectly. I cannot believe it. It's amazing how well this plan is working." And he goes, "I told you it would work. They're so easily manipulated. They're so gullible, and they buy it hook, line, and sinker." And the other senator says, "Yeah, I just didn't think it would be that easy, though. We did the whole racism card, and we see how well that did, keeping the people divided, with, the whites hating the blacks hating the whites, the Mexicans hating the blacks, and, everything else. We kept it all mixed up, so they're all hating each other all the time, so they're never coming together. But they started to see through that, and they started to realize that there's this fake racism that we perpetuate through the media and through the news and stuff. It wasn't getting it done anymore, so we had to kind of change it up. And your new idea worked perfectly. Well, you know what? If we had the alt-right and the alt-left, we're going to get people galvanized in that hatred with each other. So the left is going to hate the right is going to hate the left, and they're never, ever, ever going to come together to deal with the true problem, which is us, the government. They're never going to do it because they're too busy hating each other, and they're too stupid to realize how badly they're being manipulated and played. And when and if we can actually get them to do a civil war or something like that, then we get to lock everybody down and take away all their rights, and we will have complete and total control. And there's nothing they can do about it. And here's the other part that I think is really great, and it was a great idea on your part, this whole Second Amendment thing. That's great. We're going to get these people to beg us to take away their guns. Isn't that amazing? Because as long as these people out there have weapons, they're a threat. So we got to make sure, and if we make it their idea to get rid of the guns and to give up the guns, and that they do it willingly, we win again. It's amazing. It's amazing. And so as long as we can continue to get each other one side to pit against the other, we're perfect. We're never going to have to do anything. Okay. It's a little scenario, guys. Okay. So, and here's the thing with that. And I want you to think about this. You know, people talk about Pelosi. They talk about Chuck Schumer. They talk about the different ones there. Okay. Chuck Schumer's been a politician since he was 30 years old, and he's 68 now. He's been in office for 38 years. He's not a stupid person. They're manipulative. They're liars. They're cunning. They play the game. Okay. Nancy Pelosi is the same way. And you can go right on the other side of the aisle, and with the Democrats, it's the same thing. Okay. These people, we are all being manipulated. Okay. And that so many people don't see it. It is absolutely amazing to me. And see, so I'm going to give an example of some of the comments that I've seen on my channel. Okay. Oh, we just got to get the Democrats out. We just got to vote the Democrats out, and, then everything will be fine. What amazes me about a statement like that, or the other way, I'll comments the other way about the right, okay? The thing that amazes me about that is every 4 years, you get rah, 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 we're going to make all these changes, everything's going to be great, we're going to be good, and, this is what we're going to do, and blah, blah, blah. And then whoever's in power, it's the status quo. Nothing changes. I want you to think about, since Trump has been president, okay, the Congress and the Senate, what have they accomplished? What really good things that they have done for the American people, realistically? Are they taking care of the infrastructure in this country? No, but it's a mess, okay? Are they doing things to make our lives as everyday citizens better? No, they're looking out for their rich friends, the special interest groups that got them elected, okay? The true people who run this country, guys, are your pharmaceutical companies, your insurance companies, your oil companies, your electrical companies. That's who runs this country, because they go in there with their lobbyists and everything else, and they say, this is what we want. We donated $400,000 to your campaign. You owe us. And if you don't play ball, guess what? Your butt's gone in 4 years. So, that's how it goes, guys. And we are these pawns that they're playing with all the time. Hey, L. Gibson, divided, we just follow like sheep right off a cliff. Exactly. As long as we are divided, and don't get me wrong, are there some people on the extreme right that are absolutely crazy? You bet there are. Are there people on the extreme left that are absolutely crazy? Of course there are. A lot of people that are Democrats are good people. A lot of people who are Republicans are good people. Whatever happened to live and let live and to agree to disagree? Whatever happened to that? It is absolutely all gone, guys. It's all gone. If you don't believe what I believe, I'm going to kill you. It's ridiculous. We can take it right down the line, okay? And we're going to talk about a couple of things that you shouldn't talk about ever. What do we not talk about? Religion and abortion. Those are two hot topics that, boy, people are very galvanized in their feelings. But again, that's also another tool that is being used to divide us, okay? My personal view is, if you don't want to have an abortion, don't get one, okay? Then, but who are you to tell everybody else how they should live their lives and what they should do? And I get really tired of hearing in the media, and I'm going to use this as an example, okay? Because this is not a fact. This is a misinterpretation and a lie to get people riled up. There's this misinterpretation that people can walk into an abortion clinic at 9 months and say, yeah, I decided I don't want this baby, please abort it. That is not the case. That is absolutely not the case. The only time that there is an abortion done at that late term, in that last trimester, is if the mother's life is in danger. That is the only reason that you can get an abortion at that stage of a pregnancy. And that's it. So it's not like you can walk in and decide, yeah, I've decided now I'm 8 months pregnant. I don't want this baby. I want it gone. It doesn't work like that. Okay. So I just want to let's be clear about that. So again, there's all kinds of layers of manipulation that are being perpetuated out there, and so many people, guys, are falling for it hook, line, and sinker, which is sad. I want you to think for yourselves, and I encourage you to do that all the time. I know I do. I mean, it's like I always am telling people, don't just listen to what I say, do your research, follow up, look for yourselves, So there's this manipulation. If they can keep us all divided and hating each other and hate you because your religion is different from my religion, whatever happened to, okay, you're Jewish, you practice your faith. You're Muslim, you practice your faith. You're Christian, you practice your faith. Whatever happened to that, okay? But not anymore. Heaven forbid, if you're different than me, then you're the enemy. And that's exactly what they want. It's exactly what they want. Now, don't get me wrong. I know that there's a certain element of the Muslim faith that has an agenda. I get it. And I'm not naive to that, okay? But, it's just, but that's not all Muslims. All Muslims are not bad guys. And there's a lot of Muslims out there. So, but, well, right, exactly. I feel, Terrence Parker just said, I feel terrible for victims that are victims of attack and get pregnant. Exactly. So they should be forced to have that child. And I mean, some of you are going to say, yes, they should. But again, you know what? That's not you in those shoes. If it was you in those shoes, you might think differently. Before we judge other people, and that's the other thing, too, I think is really important. Okay, be very, very careful. Be very careful. I don't want you to mess the camera up. Okay, there's Eddie. Got Mr. Abel.
Mr. Abel Linsky.
Okay, be careful, bub. We don't want to knock it off and get us offline here. Okay.
Okay,
all right. All right. So, all right. There goes that. All right. But anyway, it's if they're it's the whole situation is there's no tolerance anymore. Everybody's uptight. Everybody, their view is the only view that counts, and that shouldn't be the way it is. I'm a big believer in live and let live. I really truly am. If it's not your business, stay out of it. Okay. And I've talked about that with our policies overseas and stuff like that. And here's the best part. For once, they were absolutely honest about what they were doing with going back into Syria to guard the oil fields. Imagine that. They were actually honest about it, which was amazing to me, actually, that they didn't have some other kind of BS. They were like, well, we're going to go over there and guard the oil fields so that the ISIS doesn't get in there, okay? It's just crazy, guys. What do we got here? Mary Smith, and you know what? You are entitled to your view, and I'm not dismiss. See, the thing is, I'm not going to get into a discussion about abortion. I'm not going to do that, guys. Okay, I was using that as an example of the galvanization of both sides are very entrenched in their views, and that's great. Believe whatever you want to believe, okay? So if you have a way that you want to live your life, and you don't want to do a certain thing, then don't do it. So, but that's my thinking. People are going to have their own opinion, and that's great. Okay. But, I'm just using that as, you can't have a conversation with anyone on the left because the matter that you say is offensive to them. You know what? And you're right on a lot of part, but not everyone is like that. Okay. Your extreme left, I agree with you. You can't have a conversation with them. Okay. Your extreme right, you can't have a conversation with them either. So, but that's the whole thing. Sean Wheeler said, hope you had a fantastic weekend and a great night out. I actually did. It was a fantastic night. Thank you for saying that. I did. It was really fun. Good people hanging out and just having a great time. Greg and Chris came with me. We drove down there together, and they had a good time too, and it was a lot of fun. So it was a really, really pleasant night. So Mr. Rose. Well, you know what? And again, the thing is, what I find interesting too, and like I said, I'm not going to turn this into an abortion debate. I'm not going to. Okay. But this is what I find interesting. And there are some people that do step up to the plate, but a lot of people that are so pro-choice, I don't see a lot of them stepping up to the plate to take care of these unwanted children. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Okay. They're going to tell other people what they should do, but I don't see a lot of them stepping up to the plate. Some do. Don't get me wrong. I will never lump anybody into one basket of how they think, but there's a lot of them that, that's how they are. Guys, if you haven't hit me up with a thumbs up yet, I would appreciate if you would do that. So thank you very much ahead of time. But anyway, so, but again, this was an exercise. I wanted to talk about this because I wanted you guys to think, because I see so many very, very extreme views that everyone on the left is crazy or everyone on the right is a gun nut. And, and that's just not the case. There's a lot of people on the left that have weapons that are preparing. Okay. And that's great. There's probably more people on the right that are preppers. I will give you that. That's probably true. Okay. The right and left are the same government. Their charade is wasting our time to prepare. You're right. Exactly. The thing is, as far as the government, guys, getting back to the government, Republican, Democrat, it's the same thing. There's nothing different about either one of them. Nothing. They're all working together. They're all playing that game. And we are the fools that continue to fall for it every 4 or every 8 years, thinking that we have a choice. I mean, I want you to think about this. Let's go back to the last election. Okay. So Hillary Clinton wins the Democratic nomination. Okay. And anybody with a half a brain knows what a snake in the grass she was. But still, she was almost elected president. Okay. Donald Trump was the other candidate, obviously, and he did become president. Okay. You look at those two choices, and this is what I said at the time, and I'll never forget this. This is exactly what I said at the time. Out of all the people in the United States, those were our best two choices to be president. Really? Really? Okay. So again, it's a game. It's a charade. We are the pawns, and that's it. But, that's why they don't like Trump, right? Because Trump doesn't play the game. He's not a politician. He's a businessman. And so they don't like that. So they've been trying to get him out forever. The Democrats have. But again, now let's think about something else too, okay? And I want you guys to think about this. For the first 2 years of his presidency, the Republicans controlled both the House and the Senate. It's only this last year that the Democrats got the majority in the House, okay? What really got pushed through in that first 2 years? Let's think about that. The extreme on both sides are trying to stop freedom of speech. Gee, I wonder why if people talk and work it out and then they can't take control of us. Exactly. Thank you. And thank you for that donation, L. Gibson, as well. And you're absolutely 100% right. If we take the time, get things worked out, meet some common ground in the middle, a lot of positive stuff could happen. But when right now you have the Democrats have focused for 3 years on trying to get Trump out of there, and now this whole latest fiasco. And guess what? Trump isn't getting impeached. It's not going to happen. Guaranteed, it's not going to happen. Well, I can't guarantee it, but I'm just saying it's not going to happen. Okay, they don't have anything. They're fishing like they're always fishing. It's always just to stir up their base, basically, to keep their base going, because it's all the whole Russian collusion. Oh, he's working with the Russians and he's a Russian puppet. It was all crap. It was all made up garbage. And think about the money that was wasted in that investigation. It's amazing to me. And he's going to get reelected. Exactly. You know what? With everything that the Democrats have done, they don't have a viable candidate. Okay. And the whole thing right now with what's going on with the Ukraine, all of a sudden that dirty little laundry from Joe Biden is coming out. He was probably the best electable candidate on the Democratic side. But now all that dirty laundry is coming out and how he had his fingers in those pies too. Well, they don't want that to come out. So with Trump bringing that out, that's why they're going after Trump. Guys, I'm telling you what, politicians, okay, Republican, Democrat, Independent, liars, thieves, and they're looking out for their own best interest, the best interest of the political affiliations that got them elected. Okay, they're special interest groups, be it a pharmaceutical company or whatever. And they'll show you exactly what these people get. Okay, let's look at Acosta-Ortiz. She's funneling money from one account to this other account so she can take that donation money from that other account and use it for other expenses. They all do it. It's a freaking big game. It's a huge manipulation. Okay. You know, and it never stops. It just never stops. There's talk of Hillary again. Ugh. You know what? I would be shocked if that happened. I would absolutely be shocked if that happened. Um, let's hope not. Yeah, and AOC is a piece of work. And here's okay, let's go back to AOC for a second. Is she from that Brooklyn area? No, she wasn't. She was in a well-bred, educated area, moved there, okay, became a bartender, and then got elected. How's that work? Okay. I mean, how many bartenders you know out there all of a sudden are getting elected to Congress? She had political connections, had people helping her get there. Now she's all out and about and in everybody's face. It's crazy. It is absolutely crazy. Oh, Smitty, we have to eat the babies. Yeah, I saw that lunatic lady. That's just a crazy person. She had no control over that. Unfortunately, that was just an absolutely insane person. Yeah, Mike Knife just said people are drugged up and hypnotized. Why do you think they want everybody on pills? Okay, you go to the doctor. What's the first thing the doctor is trying to do? Oh, you're depressed. You feel bad. We're going to give you an antidepressant. But just so you know, the side effects of antidepressant are either suicide or wanting to kill somebody else. You know, crazy stuff, guys. Crazy stuff, and it happens all the time. And you know, it's insane. You know, it's like you have to wade through the BS realistically to get to what the truth is behind there. So let's talk about this latest thing. And this reminds me of the whole Osama bin Laden thing all over again. Okay, so we'll go back to Osama bin Laden first. Now, let's think about this for a second. I want you guys to really think about this. All of a sudden, SEAL Team 6 does this raid and they get Osama bin Laden, but because they're going to respect his religious beliefs, they dump his body at sea. And so there's no pictures, there's no body, there's no proof, no evidence. Osama bin Laden was dead a long time before a supposed SEAL Team 6 went in there and did that. It was all charade. It was all, and just before the coming election, Obama gets this big win. He gets Osama bin Laden, and yay, the good guys win. You know, think about that, guys. Okay, so now you're going to tell me SEAL Team 6 goes in there. They're not taking pictures with that dead body. You know darn well they would if that was a realistic thing, okay? There would have been pictures all over the internet. It would have been all over the place, okay? And then what happened to SEAL Team 6 guys? Yeah, they got wiped out, poor training accident, or they got shot down, or whatever it was. I think they got shot down, and the whole team was killed. Jeez, imagine that. How convenient is that, right? So now supposedly we did this strike and killed this Al-Qaeda ISIS leader, right, supposedly. But the body was so badly mangled that we had to do DNA and, fingerprints type of stuff. Do you believe it? Do you really believe it? You know, again, what are they? And wait a minute. It's a nice win for Trump just before when? Oh, that's right. Next year is the election coming up. Isn't that just as convenient as can be? Again, guys, I want you to think, what's going on? What is the manipulation? What are they using it for against us? It's all a game, okay? Tubular Guy 9 said he blew himself up. That's what they're saying. Yes, they are saying that they had him and he blew himself up with a suicide vest. Now, I generally walk around wearing a suicide vest all the time. That's what I do, so. Think about it. Think about it. You think this guy's walking around 24 hours a day with a suicide vest on? I don't know, man. I just think, and again, think whatever you want to think. You have that right to think whatever you want to think, but I want you to really think, okay? That's the whole thing, that we really need to do that. Might have had one ready in his lair. Well, you don't. Yeah, possibly. But again, I think we're being manipulated once again. There's too much bad press lately with the whole situation and all these supposed, I think it was like 10,000 ISIS fighters that were in captivity. Now all of a sudden we're released and they're out there again. And now we go back. Does any of that make any kind of sense at all? Any of it, But We are being fed what they want us to see. We're being told what they want us to think. Okay, so we're being, what they call it, programming, guys, for a reason, right? That's what we need to think about. Okay, so what's really going on? What is the manipulation? All the while, their wallets and pockets are continuously getting filled. You are exactly right, JJ. And we got to remember this too, guys. War is money. Trump claimed the Russian helped them on the mission, and Russia says they didn't know nothing about the mission. Mike just said that. Yeah. So again, like I said, it's a whole. All of it's just a huge manipulation. It's all a manipulation, and we continue to buy it hook, line, and sinker, and we go, yes, give us some more, give us some more. It is amazing. It is amazing to me. It really, really is. So. Yeah, nothing in weeks about Epstein. Yeah, exactly. Isn't that interesting that is completely out of the way? Well, here's another one that you don't hear about anymore. Whatever happened with Jussie Smollett with his fake racist crime that happened to him? Where's his punishment? Why isn't he in jail? Okay. Lying, filing a false police report, the whole 9 yards. Where's all that? What's going to happen to him? You know, it's all gets dismissed because of his political connections, and, it's all sealed. Now you can't see it. Constant, guys, constantly. I want you to think about this, okay? If a white person did that, and then it came out that it was false and it was all made up, think about how bad that would be. They would go nuts in the press. But again, the press has okay, so here's another example. I'm going to give another great example. What do we see in the press all the time? Another unarmed young black person is gunned down by the police, right? You see it constantly in the news all the time. But what you don't see in the news is the poor unarmed white kid that's also gunned down by the police, okay? More white people are killed by the police, and the reason is there's more white people, okay, realistically. So statistically, it's just going to be the case. More white people are gunned down by the police than black people. That's just a fact. Look up the numbers. If you don't believe me, look up the numbers, okay? But the reality is that doesn't fit the agenda of what the media is trying to portray, what they're trying to put out there. We want to try to keep that hate going. We want to keep that division going. They don't want the black man and the white man to come together and say, hey, wait a minute. Something screwed up here. We're being manipulated and have been for years and years and years. Let's stop it. If they can keep that hate going, guys, if they can keep us hating each other, some of us have woken up and realized that's a whole manipulation, and we put it behind us, okay? But a lot of people haven't. And I'm going to tell you what, guys. There's good black people, there's bad black people. There's good white people, there's bad white people. There's good Asian people, there's bad Asian people. You know what I mean? There's good Indian people, there's bad Indian people. There's good American Indian people and bad American Indian people. I mean, go right down the line, every race. Hispanics, the whole 9 yards. There's good and bad in every single race. But at the end of the day, and this is what I think a lot of people lose sight of, we are all human beings that want to take care of our families for the most part and just live our lives. But we're constantly inundated over and over and over again with the media and everything else of this manipulation. And too many people buy it. Just too many people buy it. If it was a black conservative against the Democrats, he would be in jail. Exactly, Bobby Brown said. Yep, exactly. Okay, I want to show you guys something. So I showed you the other day, I went to Walmart and I got a bunch more canned goods, and some people were like, oh, well, that's, you're not getting your vitamins and that and stuff like that. The reason that you buy the canned goods have a long shelf life if you keep them in a controlled environment, okay? But here's what you do, okay? You go out and you get your multivitamin. Here's a daily multivitamin, okay, for adults, mineral multivitamin supplement, all right? Complete with 30 nutrients. There's 500 tablets. It's about $18 for this bottle. That's going to last one adult person 500 days if they take one a day. That's how you do your supplements and get your vitamins and stuff like that you need. You take a supplement with it, okay? What the canned goods are, what the long-term food storage is to get you through technically that first winter until your crops come in. So hopefully you're planting your crops and getting those things going, and you are using that, and that's what the way to do it. One of your best ever, Ed. Thank you. Hey, thank you very much, and thank you for that donation. And you know what, guys, I try to be honest, and I see different things, and certain things just drive me nuts. They really, really do, and it amazes me that so many people cannot see truly how we are being manipulated on a constant level, day after day after day, and they just feed into it. And like I said again, if they can keep us divided, we're never going to come together. So if we ever come together, then the true enemy, which is the government, is going to be in big, big trouble. You look at, okay, I want you to think about this, guys. Right now, go to your local news and look at the different countries around the world where the people are uprising because they've had enough. Chile, okay, there's one. And let's see, Venezuela is another one. You got problems down there, right? Lebanon is a third one that I can think of right off the top of my head. You look what's going on over there in the UK right now. People are fed up. They've had enough, okay? All over. France is another one, okay? People have had enough, all right? And they're fighting back. Hong Kong is another one. So there's 6 that I just mentioned off the top of my head without really looking up the information, all right? People have had enough. And when they have enough, yep, somebody just put Hong Kong in there. Yeah, Mexico, yep, there's another one. But people are tired of it. They're tired of the status quo. They're tired of the same old manipulation, and they're rising up. If we ever came together, and when I say Americans, I mean all of us, folks, all of us, don't matter what religion, what race we are, if we came together, boy, they would be scared. They would be crapping their pants. You know, they would be crapping their pants. So I want to show you something else. I just got 3 different things came in the mail, and so I wanted to share. And these were gifts in the mail. I wanted to show you these, okay? This first one is Nature's Best Remedies, top medical herbs, spices, and foods for health and well-being. Okay, so I'm going to put that up here. Hey, Mr. Rose, how would I'd lead the resistance? Yeah, I'm going to tell you what. I mean, we need to do something, and thank you for that donation as well. I appreciate that. We need to do something because it comes to a point, guys. Enough is enough. But so there's one of the books that I just got. So we got Nature's Best Remedies. All right. So I'm going to set that one down. The next one, it's National Geographic again, Medical Guide to Herbs, World's Most Effective Healing Plants. Okay. So I'm going to show you that one too. All right. So that was the second one. Maxie, stop. This cat's been sitting there sleeping for a freaking hour, and now he's going to decide to start scratching. All right, so then the last one I got it's an encyclopedia of herbal medicine, 550 herbs and remedies for common ailments. All right, so that's that one there. So I'm just going to kind of go up and down so you guys can see that. So those all just came in the mail. Information, guys, okay? Information. That is the most important tool that we can have for whatever's coming, to be able to survive what is coming. Information, knowledge is power. Okay, remember that knowledge is power. With that, those 3 books right there that were just given to me. Okay, and I'm gonna open this one up a second and kind of show you. It's got all the different plants, the descriptions, what it works for, what it doesn't work, all that type of stuff. So that is absolutely an amazing gift to receive. Again, knowledge is power. The more information that you can get, that you can use to help yourselves and to help your fellow man, that is a good thing. An absolutely good thing. Now I got Molly up here too. Hold on one second, guys. Hold on. Come on, Molly. I know you want out. You going too loose? Go. Go. Sorry about that, guys. Got to be a doorman. That's my part-time job, or actually it's my full-time job. But again, knowledge is power. Any information that we can get that's going to help us is definitely a very, very smart thing to do. And having those books when the time comes, it's going to be life and death. It really can be, because if you can help somebody and you can heal somebody with the natural plants that we have just in nature, that's an awesome thing. And this is the thing. Think about it. The pharmaceutical companies want you to have 550 herbs and remedies for common ailments. Do they want you to be able to heal yourself? No, because they're not making any money off of you if you do that. But if you have that information and you can utilize, and like I said, utilize it now, learn it now. You know what I mean? That's the time. While we haven't had that SHTF event happen yet, now is the time to gather that information, to study that information, and to learn. Okay, really important. Guys, and if you haven't shot me a thumbs up yet, if you would do that, I would appreciate it. See, we're like 560 people in the chat. We only got 217 thumbs up. So if you could shoot me that thumbs up, I definitely would appreciate it. But yeah, I know. Surprise YouTube. John, he says, wow, with the subject matter tonight, surprised YouTube didn't bump me yet. I know. I was very surprised too, to be honest with you. I am sure. Where could I find those medical books? I would go, you know what, go on Amazon. Amazon has everything. So go ahead and look at the video. I'm gonna say the names again here. This is the Encyclopedia of Herbal Medicine. Okay. So just type that in for that one. Then the next one is A Guide to Medical Herbs. All right. So just write those down, look them up, and I would definitely recommend you guys Nature's Best Remedies, Top Medical Herbs and Spices, Foods for Health and Well-Being. Okay, definitely recommend that you guys, if you can, go and get them. You know, get them online or just get one of them or whatever. You know, but like I have no affiliation with any of those books or the authors or anything. I just think that it's very important that we have, you know, that knowledge. I just, you know, anything that you can do. I mean, if you go in there and you see something else that you like instead, go for that. But I will look up a book that I got from my dad that was from 1812. Okay, that's cool. Nothing wrong with that. But yeah, guys, it's like there's so much information out there that we can get right now. When the internet goes down, which it probably will if there was a major event happening, the internet goes down. People are so used to just going online and finding out information. If you have it in hardcover and if you have it in books, that's a win-win situation. Medical books, exactly. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with having that either. I got a lot of different medical books here as well. So, Ed, I guarantee you there will be a fraction out there and about trying to take our bug-out camps. Oh, you know what? You're probably right. But the thing is, you have to remember, the last place you're going to want to attack early in an SHTF situation is a bug-out retreat, because most people that are prepared all the way to take care of whatever they need to take care of. So unless you're really well-trained and know what you're doing, I would not suggest trying to go and take over a bug-out retreat, because you're going to have high casualties if you make it or not. Okay, so that's just where, you know, I'm at with that one. So Smollett lost the case and is paying the fines. Yeah, but he didn't go to jail. He didn't go to jail. He did no jail time for any of that. Oh, speaking of jail time, okay, let's talk about Felicity Huffman for a second. Oh my God, I wanted to bring this up so bad. Okay, so she gets 14, and I love how they do it, 14 days in prison. She didn't go to prison. She went to a jail. Probably a county jail where she was pampered and her butt was kissed because she's a celebrity. She did not go to prison. They didn't send her off to a correctional facility that's a hardcore prison. If you're doing less than a year, you usually do county time, okay? Over a year, that's when you go to a prison. You don't go to a prison for 14 days. So she gets 14 days. Oh, my God, poor Felicity Huffman, 14 whole days. She did 11 days. She got out early, okay? And they're all trying to get information from her. They want to, you know, get that exclusive interview. What was your life like in prison? Oh, my God, you poor thing. Really? Really? So you do something illegal. You get basically a slap on the wrist 14 days. Well, she only did 11. You know, how hard is that? That's nothing. And it's probably, like I said, it was probably in some county pampered place. Or if they did, they put her, if they didn't put her in a county jail, which heaven for, we couldn't probably do that. They probably put her in some place for the white collar criminals, which is all super pampered. 14 days is a vacation. Exactly. Yeah. You know, it's unbelievable, guys. It's unbelievable. If you or I did that and we got convicted, we'd be gone for a long time. And we wouldn't be going to no vacation. Yeah, she'll write a book about it. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. You know, but it amazes me how they spin it all the time. And I'm like, we're supposed to feel sorry for this person? Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. But, no, it wasn't house arrest, Smitty. It wasn't that. She actually had to go someplace. Eddie, no, honey, I don't want you to do it again. Eddie, what did I just say? Thank you. He was going to bring the cat in again, but I don't want the bed and everything else shaking. She pled guilty, so they went easy. Well, she made a deal ahead of time. She absolutely made a deal ahead of time. So, yeah, she'll make a movie about it. Stupid people will pay to see it. Yeah, it wouldn't shock me. I wouldn't shock me. She has to write a book about her poor, horrible experience, you know, and the whole thing that led up to it. Let's not talk about the fact that she broke the law. You know, well, they can do whatever they want. You look at all the different celebrities, guys, that time after time after time, they break the law, they get popped for drugs and, you know, whatever else they're doing, and they keep getting slaps on the wrist. It's amazing to me. Let's see. Thought the states people cannot benefit from their crime in the states. Oh, yeah, you're not supposed to. You're not. I think I don't know. I think that's like murderers and stuff like that. I believe that can't do that. Like Son of Sam, that those type of people, they can't benefit from that. But oh, I missed something. Let's see. Money talks and the BS walks, right? Oh yeah, absolutely. If you got enough money, you can get out of anything. You can get out of anything. You know. Work in Michigan prison, guy gets 50 years for drugs. Yeah, exactly. You know, I mean, it's like they. But again, it's like what were the other crimes that led up to that? What did he do before that? You know, that got him that sentence, or how much did he have? You know, so that's how a lot of it goes. But the whole prison system is that's a mess in itself. A lot of young men are going there, and they're making these kids work, and they're giving them 50 cents an hour, and then they get time off their sentence and stuff like that. But that's a whole nother racket in itself, and there's a lot of people making a lot of money off the prison systems, a lot of money. Yeah, some people get a life sentence for a drug crime. You're right. And some of it's for marijuana, which is ridiculous. Yeah, Goodfellas eating steak in prison. Well, again, if you have the right connections, you can pretty much, it's how it goes. It's how your ride is. And there's always going to be cops, prison guards that are going to bring in things. Not all prison guards, obviously, but there's going to be a certain element of them that are going to bring stuff in for the prisoners, and that just happens. And I'm a local magistrate, and people should be aware of the changes in New York. Judy Jackson just said that. Yeah, there's a lot of crazy stuff going on in New York. I know they're trying to push through stuff all the time. So thank you for that information, Judy. I appreciate that. Let's see. And many of those folks making that money work in D.C., L. Gibson just said that. You are absolutely right. Cupcake prison for money-making labor market. Yeah, you know what? Oh, cupcake prison for the rich and the famous. Yes. Prisons are making money for the labor market. As Sean Wheeler just said. Yep, exactly. And, and that's how it goes. I mean, it's just, Peter Rouse just said vaccine laws in New York and California. Yeah, I know they're doing that now. They were changed that the kids have to have the vaccinations before they can go to school. I think you're going to see a lot more people homeschooling. I think that's what you're going to do. How's the chickens doing in the cold? Actually, believe it or not, it's not that cold in the coop. I actually got 6 eggs yesterday, and I was like, oh, wow, this is awesome, 6 eggs. I got 1 today, 1 egg. So, it just, but it was overcast, rainy, kind of cloudy day. We still got up into the low 60s today, so it wasn't that bad. But the chicken coop, guys, remember, if you guys remember me watching the build of the chicken coop, we insulated the crap out of that chicken coop. And I had people giving me crap for insulating the chicken coop at the time. But we do get cold up here, and I want to make sure the chickens are squared away. And so, Carmela Harris kept people in jail so they could work. Exactly. Oh, yeah. She was, and her record speaks for itself, too. I mean, now all of a sudden she's like, wants to be the golden girl. Let's remember how she got her position of power in the first place. Some people get there on their knees, and that's how she got there. And that's documented. That's not like anything that I'm making up. She got her power because of who she was, who she knew and what she was doing for that individual. So, was it Willie Harris? I think was the guy, if I'm not mistaken. 8 yesterday, only 1 today. Welcome to the shorter days. L. Gibson said, yeah. Well, when I saw 6 yesterday, I was like, oh, wow, that's awesome. And then today, just nothing, just the 1. So what are you going to do? Donald said, oh, I just went there. Yes, I did. I did go there. But it's the truth. I mean, you look at you look at Beto. Let's look at Beto for a second. First of all, how did this guy ever get elected in the first place? Number one. He's a convicted felon, I don't get it. I don't get it. And then, that freaking name Beto that's a nickname, obviously, but come on, really? And then him talking out of his behind like he is unbelievable. Oh, American people, they'll obey the law once we make it the law. Yeah, sure they will. Hold your hat on that one. But, and again, that's another scare tactic, guys, that whole we're taking your guns. Do you realize even if they ever, okay, so let's just say they made it the law and all the guns are gone. You got to give up all your guns. Realistically, how many of you are going to give your guns up? Realistically, just give them up. You're going to have a lot of people with a lot of stashes of weapons all over the freaking place. That's the reality. People are not going to give their guns up. They're not going to. It's just not going to happen. So just remember that. It was just like, here's another thing I want you guys to remember. Registration leads to confiscation every single time. Every single time. You register it, at some point they're going to come knocking on your door to take it away. And if you don't have it, you better figure out where it went and who has it now. Because, that's what they do. It's a game. It's an absolute game. So, but they won't take guns, but they will make them hard to get. Yeah, you're right. And ammo, exactly. You're right. They won't take them, but they're gonna make it harder and harder. They're gonna try to enact more and more laws, playing these games, and it's a game. It's like anything else. Yeah, right. I remember that Tubular Guy 9 says that Beto wrote a fantasy in his journal about running over kids. Yeah, he's a twisted individual. If you don't turn in your guns, you won't get your tax refund. Well, that's what if you have your stuff registered. Again, there's that key. Registration leads to confiscation. So, if you have stuff that they don't know about, are you going to turn those in? I mean, it's like I said, it's just a game. Yeah, I lost my guns while fishing. They all accidentally fell overboard. Yeah, well, that's how it goes. It's a terrible thing, but it does happen. Evil people are sick and twisted. You're right. And here's the thing. There's so many examples of people out there killing a lot of people without using guns. Okay. Timothy McVeigh is a great one that comes to mind with the Oklahoma bombing. He used fertilizer, guys. Where there is a will, there is a way. People use cars. You look at the increase in stabbings, like over in the UK, where they don't, they basically hamstrung everybody, and now they want to try to get rid of knives on top of it. It's nuts. It's absolutely nuts. People will find a way to kill each other. They always have, and they always will. You have to register or you go to jail. Again, Gene, if they don't know what you have, why would you register something? If I had something that I had 25 years ago, let's say I bought something 25 years ago, you think those records are even still around anymore? I doubt it. Okay. And they're not going to know. They're not going to know. So, I mean, like the recent purchases, if they're doing the whole trace background thing and stuff like that, yeah, probably. Okay. But realistically, if you want to get anything, and I've talked about this before, guys, if you want to get anything that you want to get, anything, I don't care what kind of weapon it is, I don't care how bad it is, if you want to get it, if you have the money and you go to the right people, you can get whatever you want, no matter what the laws are. So remember that. I mean, there's always going to be, if they make something illegal, there's going to be a black market for it. Look at Prohibition. Did that stop people from drinking? Of course not. And they still drank. And then they realized that other people were making way too much money from it. So that's why they made it legal again. It's all about control and power. Always comes down to control and power. Sand Hill Prepper just said always a way. And that's exactly right. There's always a way. Always going to be a way. Where there's a will, there's a way. And that's just a fact. Always has been, always will be. All right, so we got 592 people, 306 thumbs up. We're going to do one more. I'm going to ask again for a thumbs up here. Let's see if we can push this to 400 before the chat's over. But we got to do this now, guys. You know what's coming. And I don't want nobody jumping in here early in the comments. Don't go jumping the gun. We are Legion. We are many. We're all over the world, all over the country. Now you can do it. Where is everybody from? And I'm just giving you guys a hard time because some of you like to jump the gun. Where's everybody from, guys? Sodus, Michigan, Minnesota, Western Maine, Los Angeles, Ohio, North Carolina, Michigan again, Oshawa, Ontario. Let's see. Canada, BC, New Zealand, Cheektowaga, New York. We got Louisiana, Kentucky, Chicagoland, California, Scotland, Missouri, Northern Kentucky. We have Texas again, Los Angeles. Oh my goodness, going very fast. Sheffield, Illinois, Denver, Colorado, Raleigh, North Carolina, Long Island, Mississippi, Vermont, Pennsylvania, upstate New York, Texas, Yukon Territory in Canada, very cool, Minnesota, Virginia, Arkansas, Leicester, California, Arkansas, we got Western New York, the UK, let's see, Illinois, Southwest Ontario, Georgia, let's see, Tulsa, Oklahoma, Southwest Virginia, again the UK, Central Florida. So guys, we got Alabama, Binghamton, New York. We're all over the place. We are this huge group of people, and people don't realize what that means. As preppers, as off-gridders, we have a huge advantage over most people. And the more prepped you are, the bigger your advantage is, to be honest with you. When that time comes, when that emergency comes in your life, and again, an emergency in your life, guys, could be loss of job, sickness, death in the family. Those are an SHTF situation to you as an individual, okay? With having things to be able to get you through that, and I've had a lot of comments of people saying that their preps got them through certain emergencies, family emergencies, and they were thankful to have them. And I think that's important to remember that too. This is not just about, oh my God, the end of the world is coming and I have to be prepared for that. That's not what prepping is about. Now, it's one of the reasons why we prep for that major disaster that will happen at some point, okay? But we prep for all contingencies. Local events that are going to happen, statewide events that are going to happen, power outages, ice storms, tornadoes, hurricanes, flooding, you name it, hailstorms, blizzards, all these things. We do it for all those reasons, guys, okay? Again, now today, early in the chat, I wanted to talk about, again, really quickly, I want you guys to think for yourselves, okay? And I kind of was thinking about that scenario, and I wanted to present that because I think a lot of people get caught up a lot of times in what's being fed to us. I think a lot of that happens a lot. So I just really wanted to try to put it in perspective that Republican and Democrat are two sides of the same coin. All right. There's no difference with them. Now, don't get me wrong. Like I said, there's extremists on the left and extremists on the right. Okay. That's going to be there. And those people I consider on both cases are nuts. Okay. But you're going to have that. But there's a lot of good people in the middle there. Okay. On both sides. There's a lot of conservatives that are decent people. There's a lot of liberals that are decent people. They may not think exactly like we do, okay? And that's okay. But, we should obviously try to get along. I think that's the most important thing. We need to stop this division. And it starts with all of us. We're the first line of it. We're the ones that are already awake. So we're the ones that can really, truly say, hey, you know what? I'm not going to buy into that. I'm not going to feed into that. So I think that that's really important that we do that. And we can make a difference, guys. We really can. I'm going to tell you what. When I get this greenhouse up and going, I cannot wait. And this sounds silly and crazy, if you will. I cannot wait to share my bounty with my neighbors. I can't wait to do that. It's another way of giving back. And it's a good thing to do, and it's the right thing to do, to keep it all for myself and say it's all mine, it's mine, it's mine. That's not the way it's meant to be. It's really not. So, like I said, if I can share that bounty that I'm going to definitely have with this greenhouse and stuff like that, don't get me wrong, I will can the crap out of a lot of this stuff, guys. I will have, when I put in my root cellar, I will have it loaded. It will be loaded. But I also will share with other people because I think that that's really, really important as well. So let's think about that, okay? Why do we have all these preps? Are we just going to live off our preps forever? No. We're having our preps to help us get through the hard times until those crops come in, till we've read our books and we know what to get out in nature, wild edibles, and, to where to grow, what to grow, and how to grow. That's what those preps are for. They're a short-term stopgap. Like a SHTF happens in the middle of January or the beginning of January, you're not going to go out, guys, and you're not going to be gathering anything because especially in the Northeast, there's not going to be nothing to gather, okay? So you need to have that food to get you through. Then you get into the spring. Certain foods are going to come up in the spring, the dandelions and all those type of things, and your wild edibles will be there, and you're going to be able to get other stuff into your diet other than your canned goods and your rice and your beans and those type of things. But those rice and beans and your canned goods and stuff like that and your freeze-dried foods, those are going to be very, very important to get you through to that point, psychologically, mentally, so that you're sharp and you're ready to go. So I want you to think about that, guys. I think it's really, really important. So what do we got here? I got 48,000 seeds to plant for my new crop. Well, that's very cool. Actually, I got something that just came in the mail too. I'll show you that in an upcoming video. Got something from the seed vault. So I will show you that when, in an upcoming video. But yeah, so what are we at? 375 on the thumbs up, guys. We're 25 away. If you haven't shot me a thumbs up yet, if you would do that, that would be great. Because that would be kind of cool. It's just a cool number to say we hit 400 thumbs up before we go offline. Let's see. If it happens in January, people will freeze to death. You're exactly right, Kevin H. They absolutely will. I'm going to be doing a demonstration, guys. I got to go buy a clay pot. But I'm going to do a demonstration of how you can heat your home. And I'm going to do a video on this for you guys. How to heat your home, or not your home, but a room. Seal off a room. Go in there with tea lights, okay? Fire brick or just bricks in general, regular bricks, and a clay pot. And it's a way to heat your home, and it's going to be really, really cool. And it's going to be, or not, I keep saying home, but I mean heat a room to help you survive and help you live. Very important information to have. I want to share that with you because I think it's hugely important, because in the Northeast, if you live in an apartment and you can't have a fireplace, you're going to be in desperate straits. So how are you going to survive? The power goes out in the middle of winter. This is going to be a great way to do it. Not going to take up a tremendous amount of space. And you're talking basically like 3 or 4 bricks down, then 2 more bricks a little higher, a clay pot upside down, turned upside down, okay? A planting clay pot. You put that tea light in there, and I'm going to do the demonstration. I'll show you guys, but I'm just going to say how you put that tea light in there. That light's going to give you light. It reflects and it heats up off that clay pot, and it's going to help heat that room. And that can be the difference if you freeze to death or not. Obviously, you're going to want to have lots of blankets and those type of things as well. I think it's really important to make sure you have all those type of stuff. Wool things, socks, blankets, all those type of things are really, really important. Thinking through a problem is the greatest challenge in a disaster. Exactly. Never jump to conclusions. Have a game plan. Have information. Process things. Think, okay, what is the best way to deal with this situation, and what is the best way to handle it? And that's what we all need to make sure we're doing. I think that's really, really important. I'm offended that you haven't offended me yet. That's funny. I like that comment. That's awesome. And that's the thing is, guys, this whole exercise tonight, I wanted you guys to think. If you got offended, okay, here's for anybody that was offended tonight. Too bad. That's on you. If you're offended, that's your problem. That's not my problem. I'm not trying to offend anybody. I'm trying to enlighten you. I'm trying to help wake you up so that you can see the true manipulation that is being done to all of us every single day, and we keep falling for it hook, line, and sinker. So necessity is the mother of invention. Yes, it is. Absolutely, it is. So anyway, guys, thank you all for joining me tonight. This has been awesome. Good chat, good crowd. We had a decent amount of people here, and it's awesome. And I appreciate all you guys. I really, truly do. Thank you for all my great moderators out there. You guys are awesome, keeping the chat clean, and I do appreciate that. And that's a big reason why we have such a great turnout, why we have great comments in the comments. I can't get to them all, guys, and I'm sorry. I try to get to everybody as much as I can. But again, it's always time. And like I've had people say, well, why don't you answer your comments? Okay. Your questions when I ask for feedback, and I read every single comment that comes in. I read every single one. Okay. When you have 400-500 comments a day or more, there's no way I can sit down and answer all those comments. There's just absolutely no way. Okay. So please don't feel like you're slighted if I don't answer your comment. I try to get in there and answer a couple. But I'm trying to get things done here before the snow flies as well. So that's my number one priority right now, is get things done outside while the weather is still decent. So, that's what we do. Okay. So, guys, again, I appreciate all of you. And again, if you are not subscribed to the channel, please do so. Make sure you hit that bell icon so you get all the updates. Make sure you give us a thumbs up. I see we hit over 400, which is awesome. We're at 425, which is great. And, make sure, you like, comment, and share, guys. And I appreciate all of you. I really, truly do. You're the reason why I'm doing this. We're just going to keep going, okay? I will talk to you all later. Remember, guys, hug and kiss the ones you love. Tell them every single day. Tomorrow's not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen in life. That's the most important thing to me, is telling the people that you care about every day how you feel. Also, remember, we are all in this together. That's important to remember as well. We're a big team. And there's a lot of us out here, guys, a lot more than people think, okay? Also, remember, guys, STD. It's one step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. Whatever you're working towards, doesn't have to always be prepping related. It could be whatever goal you're trying to work towards in your life. You work at it methodically, and it will get done. And that's what STD is all about. One step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. And it's amazing how that philosophy, once you get that into your brain, you do that, and it's amazing how much stuff you can get done. It really is. And I'm a great, great example of that, because that's my mentality. That's what I do here. And look what we got done this year. This year's been amazing. Absolutely amazing. All right. I will see you all later. Have a great night. Prepper Nurse 1, out for now.